Howdy folks, Bluesboy Jag here, another cigar box guitar. This is a new box that I have never made a cigar box guitar out of. It's a Perez Carillo. And on the bottom there it says Encore, which makes sense. It's a really cool, there we go, get the best color there. Really cool box. There's your sound hole, and I've said this 30, 40, 50, 60, 80,000 times. You don't need a big old sound hole on these small boxes to get a loud acoustic sound. Well, I shouldn't say loud, but to get a maximum acoustic volume. These boxes are maybe a third of the size of a regular electric guitar. So therefore, I could make the whole thing a sound hole. It wouldn't increase the volume very much. It's science, folks, science. Anywho, very cool box. Obviously a 3-stringer. Now a lot of people ask me about these bridges. They're like, it's just a bolt, really? Just a bolt? You use a bolt for a bridge? Just a... Yep, been doing it since 2005. It's a floating bridge, which means the strings basically hold the bridge in place. Those 2 screws right there make sure the angle is just right. This is a compensated bridge. Sometimes they're crooked, sometimes they're straight. It just depends. This one is just a little bit crooked. Anywho, your strings hold the bolt in. If you've ever played, I don't know, jazz style hollow body guitar, doesn't have to be hollow, but just for example. In fact, I'll show you one. Hold on. So you can get a first hand glimpse. Alright, so this is a dusty Gretsch guitar. It's got sawdust from my back room making all these CBGs. So pardon the dust. But you see that bridge right there? It's a piece of metal stuck on a piece of wood, and it's just hanging there. It's just held in by the tension of the strings. That, my friends, is a floating bridge. It floats, it hovers in midair. It's stupendous. Okay, shut up. So there you go. Basically, the strings hold it in. So when you change the strings, guess what? The bridge falls off. Falls off. And you just plop it right back in there. So that's a floating bridge. They go back a long ways. Violins back in the 1600s had floating bridges. Anywho, that's a floating bridge. So what I do, I set up the guitar, put the neck on, and I measure from the nut, which is another bolt up there. Again, it's a floating nut. Falls off when you take your strings off, so don't discard it. You'll be up shit creek. So floating bridge, floating nut, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I measure exactly 25.5 inches, because that's just the scale I chose. Doesn't have to be 25, you can be whatever. But from here to here, 25.5 inch scale, just like a Stratoblaster or Teleblaster. And when I make these, I just kind of plop the screws somewhere around here, could be anywhere between here and here. And as I tighten and tune the strings, I zero in on the proper spot. Now, how do I do that? It's actually sort of simple. So you see your 12th fret right here, the double dot octave. When you play the harmonic here, and I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail, but there's your harmonic. Just lay your finger on top, do not press down. Right on top of the fret. It's your harmonic. Right? So That note, that harmonic, continues to ring out as I take my finger off. That note should be the fretted note on the 12th fret. Should match. So I use a fancy electronic tuner, and I do this, and I look at the tuner, and I do that. I fret it. I actually press it down. As long as those notes are identical, that note and the fretted note, harmonic on the next string, fretted note, harmonic on the next string, fretted note. As long as those are the same note, then I know the bridge is set right. So I just adjust it. That's T-H-U-S-L-Y, Luthie. And I just scoot it up or back until, and I angle it sometimes, until it's perfectly in tune. So that's a long-winded explanation. All right. On the back here, you see a big old hunk of wood. Well, the reason there's a big old hunk of wood is the box is sort of skinny, which actually, I like the skinny boxes. And if you look where this little doohickey is, this is an L bracket. And what this does, it pulls the neck down just a little, or it raises the neck just a little. So you loosen it, neck goes up, strings get higher, strength get higher, and you tighten it, and the strings come down closer to the fretboard. And that's pretty much it for that L bracket. That's what it does. So if you want a little bit of, see that string right there? Let's say you want to raise it to right there, just a smidgen higher, then I would loosen this bolt just a tiny bit, maybe an eighth of a turn, just a, and that will loosen the neck, which means the string goes higher. Now if I want to tighten it a little bit, then I can, or bring the strings down, I tighten it. And the reason I do that is so that you have a little bit of options there for the string height. Now, when I ship these, I've been through this a billion, trillion, gazillion times on my videos, but in case you haven't seen my other videos, when I ship these a little bit higher than a normal fretted guitar. That's for those of you who like to play slide. However, I don't make them so high that you can't fret. So you don't want to be playing a chord and go, I can't press the strings down hard enough. So I have the strings very, very close to the fretboard, but just a tiny bit higher than you would normally play when you fret. You want the strings a little bit, most people, 99.9%, want them a little, just a little bit higher so you can fret. So you can slide. So I put it right in the sweet spot. Not too low so you can't slide, not too high so you can't fret. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, make everybody happy. Anyway, that's what the L bracket's for. Now, long-winded explanation of why that big hunk of wood is there. There's no place to screw the L bracket in, as you can tell. See, the body is just too damn short, see? So I put a little piece of wood in there, and I kind of put some nice polyurethane on it to make it look all fancy. Anyway, that's why that big old hunk of wood there. Okay, so that's the explanation. There you go, folks. 3-string. I make 3 strings. I make 2 strings. I make 1 strings. I make no strings. Yeah, I make a no-string guitar. Nope, don't make a 5. 4, and I make a 6-string. Why do I not make a 5? Well, these necks are just wide enough for 2, 3, or 4 strings. And they're pre-cut. A 5-string needs to be just a little bit wider, which means I'd have to make a whole damn neck, which means too much labor, which means I have to raise my prices. And people are like, why your 4 strings $60 more than your 5 strings $60 more than a 4-string or 3? My point is made. I make a 1-string diddleybow, 2-string diddleybows. Some people call them chuggers. Don't know why. Somehow chugger just kind of took over. It's a diddleybow, 2-string diddleybow. Make the fretless cigar box. Yeah, fretless. No frets, folks. See these wires where you press down and go pink? No frets. Fretless guitar. You're like, how can you play a guitar without frets? With a slide. Okay, I haven't even played this, have I? The idea, folks, it's an electric guitar. This is a single coil pickup. As you can see, there's 3 screws down there, and the pickup is underneath those screws. Those are the pull pieces which get the sound from the strings, and those are the screws for the pickup. And as you can tell, I've got the bridge up pretty close, and that is to preserve the artwork right there. I don't like to put the bridge way up here and the pickup in the middle. Sometimes I do, but this box is pretty long, so the bridge has to be right here for 25.5-inch scale. And I didn't want to put the screws right in the middle here. I could have, in this case, I just thought, I'll just put them down here. N-I-H-H. And so there is the pickup, real close to the bridge. So you get kind of a trebly sound, just like a old Telecaster with the single pickup in the bridge position, or if you've got a whatever guitar and you flip the pickups strictly over to that bridge position, you're always going to get more of a treble tone down here. Now that's not a bad thing. So this one is more like a broadcaster or whatever that guitar was that had just one pickup down here. And if you want more of a bass tone, change the tone on your amp. There's no tone controls on my CBGs, folks, just one volume, old school style. And as I told you, or did I? I put a whole bunch of polyurethane on these boxes. May not look like it on the back because this was not a painted back or colored back or whatever. See? But I put a whole bunch. I put 6, 8, 10 coats, sometimes more. Depends on the box. And that protects the box, protects the artwork. And there you go, folks, signed and numbered. This is 4,701. This is how I hold the strings on 3 screws. They strings wrap around the screws. Strap holder, strap holder. Bluesboy Jag logo. You can use any strings, any brand. This is a 5/4/3, 5th, 4th, and 3rd string. You can use 5/4/3/2, 4/4 string. You can use 6/5/4/3. You can use 6/5/4. You can use 4/2. You can use. You get the idea. Whatever. All sorts of different variations. All right, I'll shut up. I'll let you guys finish eating your sandwich. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your kind support, and toodles.